Welcome everyone, the Scurv podcast. This is LanceScurv, your host. I've always said this before, that we're living in a whole different time than what the human body was made to endure. When you think about even the last 100 years, even though 100 years ago there were some inventions that changed life forever, but we can just even say the last 50 or 60 years, how the world has changed. And from what I can remember, it's a drastic change. And even though we have modern technology and things that make things easier for us to accomplish tasks, there's something missing. The hands-on, human touch, being connected, it's just too much technology now. It's slid in between us, and now we're disconnected, and it's like we can't even feel life anymore. And with all of this technology, we're running faster. And the perception of being too slow, and we have to catch up. It's a very dangerous situation, and I truly believe it's harming us. You wake up already behind. The alarm feels like an attack. Your phone is glowing with messages before your eyes are fully open. There's a meeting coming. Deadlines are waiting. And that voice in your head is already pushing you to move faster. So what do? You rush. You drink coffee instead of water. You skip breakfast. You scroll while brushing your teeth. You call it discipline. You call it ambition. You tell yourself this is what responsible adults do. By the standards of modern culture, you're winning. You're productive. You're reachable. You're reliable. But let me ask you something honestly. Are you living? Or are you just accelerating toward burnout, or even worse? Many people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s believe that stress is normal. They believe sleep can wait. They believe slowing down means falling behind. But what if the very pace you're proud of is slowly tearing your body apart? You think you've adapted. You think your body's used to it. But adaptation is not the same as resilience. What feels normal may actually be damage happening quietly in the background. Every time you rush, multitask, or jump at a notification, your brain reacts as if something is wrong. Deep inside your head, your nervous system activates a survival response. Your heart beats faster. Your muscles tighten. Stress hormones flood your bloodstream. This response was designed to save your life. If a wild animal was chasing you, this surge would help you run. It would sharpen your focus and give you strength. But here's the problem. Your body does not know the difference between a lion and an email. Wild, isn't it? When you check your phone during dinner, your body reacts. When you worry about tomorrow at midnight, guess what? Your body reacts. When you sit in traffic angry and tense, your body reacts. The same chemicals that were meant for short emergencies now drip into your system all day long. Over time, this constant stress changes you. It weakens your immune system. It raises your blood pressure. It damages your memory. It makes sleep harder. It affects your mood and shortens your patience. You may not feel it all at once, but it builds year after year. In your 40s, it may show up as burnout. In your 50s, it may show up as heart problems or high blood pressure. In your 60s, it may show up as memory decline. You will say you were just working hard, but your body will tell a different story. Imagine an animal in the wild. It grazes calmly. Suddenly danger appears. It runs with full force. Its heart pounds. Its muscles fire. But once the threat is gone, it returns to calm. It goes back to eating. Its system shuts down the alarm. Now look at your life. You wake up and check your phone before your feet hit the floor. Your stress response is already active. You rush through your morning. You think about work during breakfast. You scroll at night instead of resting. Your body never gets the signal that the danger is over. The animal stops running, but you do not. The difference is not strength, it's rhythm. The body was designed for cycles. Effort followed by rest. Stress followed by recovery. But modern life has removed the recovery part. You're sprinting without ever reaching safety. When you never return to calm, something deeper begins to fade. You stop tasting your food. You stop hearing people fully. You stop feeling the moment you're in. Life becomes a checklist instead of an experience. Living fast feels intense, but intensity is not the same as depth. Filling every hour does not mean you're living fully. It often means you're overstimulated and exhausted. Chronic stress does more than make you tired. It increases the risk of heart disease. It speeds up aging. It harms the parts of your brain responsible for memory and emotional control. It makes you more reactive. That's why you snap at loved ones. That's why you feel numb some days and overwhelmed on others. Many people wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. They brag about how little they sleep. They take pride in always being busy. But being busy is not the same as being meaningful. You can accomplish more each day and still feel empty inside. When you're always in motion, you lose your connection to yourself. You may smile in public but feel hollow in private. You may achieve goals but not remember the journey. You may be surrounded by people and still feel alone. That is the hidden cost. Not just health problems, not just stress, but the loss of presence, joy, and connection. The good news is your nervous system can recover, but it will not happen by accident. You must send your body a new message. You must show it that you are safe. This begins with simple actions. Slow breathing that moves your belly, not your chest. 5 quiet minutes without a screen. Eating 1 meal a day without multitasking. Walking without a phone in your hand. Sleeping 7 to 9 hours instead of 5. Multitasking may feel powerful, but it fractures your focus and drains your energy. Doing one thing at a time lowers stress and improves clarity. Turning off notifications reduces the constant spikes of tension. These are not luxuries. They are biological necessities. Moderate daily movement helps calm the system. Gentle walks, stretching, or swimming support recovery better than extreme workouts when you're already stressed. Real conversation with someone you trust lowers stress more than endless scrolling ever will. But the hardest step is giving yourself permission to slow down. Many people feel guilty when they rest. They believe peace must be earned. It does not. Peace is required for survival. If you're honest, you already know you cannot keep living at this speed. You may tell yourself it is just a busy season, but for many adults, the season never ends. When your identity is built around urgency, slowing down feels like losing yourself. But what you may actually lose is the version of you that is exhausted, anxious, and disconnected. You were not designed to live in constant emergency mode. You were built for rhythm, work, and rest, effort and recovery, engagement and stillness. When you finally stop running, you do not fall apart. You begin to heal. Your memory sharpens. Your mood stabilizes. Your relationships deepen. You start to feel life again instead of just managing it. The question is not whether this fast life will cost you. The question is how long you will wait before choosing differently. You do not have to run forever. You can stop, and when you do, you may discover that life was never meant to be a race after all. I can tell you one thing. I was born and raised in New York City, at a time when New York City was probably busier than most places in America, which in the United States, I can tell you that many of these cities have caught up and even possibly paralleled or surpassed New York City in certain respects. Cyberspace has brought us closer together in some ways, but it's also spread out the stress the same way you spread out the peanut butter on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's evenly spread out now, even to the smaller cities, even to other countries in their rural areas are getting cell phone signals, internet signals, connecting to cyberspace. and speeding up, if not physically, in their mind. They're exposed to more. So even me growing up in such a fast place, right now mentally, I have to resist the urge to take the leap into constantly being busy. For most of my life, that's all I've known. Push, 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 on to the next one immediately, and never rest. I never felt or experienced anything bad from it, but instinctively, I knew that I wasn't living life as full as I could. But that's all I knew when you grew up in such a place. And it wasn't until I got a bit older that I sensed the need to move away from New York City. I knew by now that it was just too fast, that I needed something slower. So this is why I moved down to Orlando, Florida, and I didn't realize that I had been there for about 19 years. But toward the end of those 19 years, it was a big change from when I moved down in 2001. So now, it wasn't about what part of America I was in. In my mind, for many other reasons also, I had to leave the country. I had to find myself in a different atmosphere completely because I saw the trajectory of what was going on in America. And those things are going on in other places in the world, but it's up to you to find your happy spot. But no matter where you are, if I was still living in New York City, I would be even more centered. And for me to admit these things, after understanding that I am and always have been a very centered person, it makes sense to change your environment if it begins to affect you. For me, what kept me from feeling the negative aspects of New York City and how fast it is the fact that I've always been a very centered and focused person. And so, knowing this, if you can control that, you can pretty much control most of the stress that comes your way. But I say, why deal with it in the first place? So now, living up in the mountains, in the country, in a completely different place, I have never slept so deep. And I purposely now slow myself down. Because even after I moved out here, if you've been on the prior platform before it was taken down, you'll see I was pushing it with content. Now, I go with the flow. I almost went to sleep and didn't even do this video. I'm not pushing myself, but I said I have a little more energy. Let me go ahead and do it. So now, the way I see it, and this is not to blaspheme the Creator, this is to glorify and thank the Creator, but I am the center of my universe. Now, people would say, oh no, the Creator should be the center of your universe. Yes, I agree. So if I'm the center of my universe and the Creator is in me as the center of my universe, then we're walking in alignment, aren't we? So many people say that those divine energies and guidance is the centerpiece of their life, but they're living a life where their mind is somewhere else. Their actions are somewhere else. What they indulge in has nothing to do with the Creator, and it's not centered. See? So if you overlap that spiritual awareness with the fact on how you live and how you control yourself and how you don't give in to the fast pace that permeates your mind and has you racing even in your sleep, And I have to admit, I am still detoxing from that mentality. Maybe I'll have some of it in me and in my mind for the rest of my life, but I know year after year, it's going to reduce even more. I'm going to admit, at least twice a week, I dream that I'm going to work on one of the many jobs that I've had in my lifetime. And in that dream, I'm hurrying up because I don't want to be late. And then I start to wake up. Maybe I'll take a trip to the restroom and realize, wait a second, I'm not employed anymore, I'm retired. But that thing stayed inside of me. And it's still going to give you the response where you feel you're in an emergency. So therefore, that means I'm still stressing. Even though things for me that way are so much better, maybe it's the remaining residue of that mindset. You know, I'm a deep thinker and I always look within, question myself, and stay brutally honest with myself. And that's what I believe it is. It's like detoxing. It's coming out of me. There's no place for it in my life. I know what I intend to do tomorrow, and there's no rushing with it. There's not even a time schedule with it. It will get done when it gets done. I have one thing that I have to do where I have to be on time, and that's with Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, for the show that we're going to be doing. But there'll be no rush, because when I run my errands tomorrow, I'll be back home many hours before the show starts. And I'll be there long before it starts, set up and in position. And this is how I enjoy my day. Many of us are not living in the moment. We're rushing because of something in the near future. We're looking back on our past and stressing over something that we cannot change, getting upset at that, trying to change the conversation when we speak to friends to bring them back into our past to go run that treadmill that never ends. No. Right now, I'm a little fatigued and I will be retiring soon, but I am in bliss because I'm home. I know where I am. I know what I intend to do. And when I sleep tonight, I'm going to give it my all. What I have to do tomorrow has to wait until I'm completely awake. No rushing. No fighting the clock. Now it's understood. Yes, I'm retired, so I can do it that way. But even still, when you have that fast-paced life and you have a job you have to get to at a certain time, a lot of us, and I understood this when I was working, a lot of us get pulled away and we say, oh, we didn't get enough sleep. Well, why didn't you get in the bed on time? And even before the time, why don't you have a ritual where you wind down so your mind can detox and detach and get into that zone? If you want to read something, why does it have to be on the phone? Why can't it be a book that doesn't have a blue screen that's going to keep you up? You see what I mean? Why can't we light some candles instead of having the lights on as we wind down? Just make sure to have you or someone else blow that candle out. But we need to go back to a pace that we were made to live, but greed, ambition can also be a curse. Feeling as though we're falling behind and we have to keep up with someone else. This perceived way of living. Right now, what I have is what I have. What I have may be less than other people. And what I have may be more than certain people. But whatever it is that I have, I'm not comparing myself to anyone else because I know how I achieved the things I've achieved, and I don't know how the next person came into possession of the things that they have. There's a lot of dirt going on out here, a lot of compromise to your morals. I'm on my own path, and I'll get to my destiny in due time. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna enjoy every precious moment. There are things in the future that I intend to do, but right now it's very blurry. You know, when you have a professional photographer take a photo, or you have a really great camera and you want to blur the background, you can see the images in the background, but it acts like a natural eye. When you focus on what's in front of you, the background blurs and it replicates that. I'm not so rigid with my future. I'm very pliable. I'm very flexible with that. I have an idea of what I intend to do, but there may be something that changes my mind. I am not going to live rigid. I'm not saying that I'm preaching to you or I know everything. I'm just sharing with you my mindset. People say, man, you don't look the age you are. Well, I think because I've always been focused and into the moment, that helped me, but it still got to me, the environments that I've lived in. And so now I purposely make sure that I'm relaxed. Physically, yes. I used to catch myself holding myself really tense. Fists balled up, shoulders shrugged up, legs tense. Not even just in the fight or flight mode. I was always in fight mode. Always ready. Because of certain things that have happened to me in my life, which the heightened sense of awareness that I have attained in those days, I appreciate. But I'm not living in those environments anymore. You have to realize where you are and what your environment is doing to you. And even if you're in stressful situations, I find that you can truly relax yourself within, to not let the environment rip you apart, because perception is everything. If a man has a weak heart and he truly believes that there's somebody around the corner with a gun waiting to shoot him, he might have a heart attack long before he gets to the corner of that block, right? There may be some kids around there that jump out and say, boo! He just knows, oh God, this is the time. Now I'm leaving this earth. I'm going to get shot. Perception has a lot to do with so much. You see, you have people out here who are chronic worriers. They worry about everything and they're making themselves old. Every little thing that you may share with them. Well, what happens if this happens? And well, what happened? I said, no, listen, I don't worry. I show concern. I'm proactive in rectifying the issue, the challenge, which many people call problems. And I'm off to bed or off to a good meal or off to a good walk or a good conversation. But to sit here and put my hand and bite my teeth and I'm nervous and what. These people will have you worrying about such trivial things. The what ifs. It's only going to go one way. There's a million what ifs. And some people sample each one and worry themselves into a frenzy. And this is why they don't get anything done with their day, because they're speculating on the what ifs. It's like holding yourself up on a cliff. Just like in the movies when they say cliffhangers, but your hands are holding on and your body is swaying and you have to pull yourself up. They worry themselves so much they fall off the cliff and lose their lives. I need to focus my energy on pulling myself up, getting myself better in my time, my internal clock. I don't know exactly what time I'm going to wake up in the morning. It might be 6 a.m. It might be 9 a.m. Hell, it might be 12:30 in the afternoon. That doesn't bother me. My body dictates that because my body knows best. It knows the accumulation of stress that one may have, and coupled with your nutrition, your rest, your exercise, and your emotional health, you're juggling. And it's a delicate balance. And this is why people get stressed on one side of their life and bring stress home to their loved ones. You have to know how to compartmentalize this thing. But when we live so fast, it's hard to do that. You know how much information, I'm not going to say this like it's personal when I say you, I'm speaking to the masses or whoever's listening to this, but it's not personal. I'm just going to say it this way. Do you know how much information you process every single day, as opposed to 30 years ago if you were alive then? I'm just using my scale. Could you imagine those who are brought up on social media? Their minds are pushed and they don't realize it. And then you have people who will send you links and videos and links like you're going to sit there and just fall to their mercy. They're just throwing stuff at you. You're going to stop what you're doing for the day and let me just sit here and look at these things that they threw at me. No. I have to get my stuff done first. With the amount of stuff that I get and receive in emails, hundreds of them a day, videos sent to me, thousands of them a day, text messages, phone calls, and all of this on multiple platforms. I would just get up to just read and watch and everything people just throw at me. So I have no control over my day. And this is what happens to most people. You'll still go to work, you'll still pay your bills, but with the things thrown at you that you have to digest, and you don't have to digest this stuff. No, I'm keeping it simple. I'm slowing down, and I don't want to deal with the hidden cost of being busy all the time. One of the recent things that I've been saying is that it's a luxury to be bored. In this modern world where everything is coming at you, it's a luxury and a very much healing experience to be bored. I want to have bored time every single day where I truly detach from most things. Tomorrow, when I go out and about, it'll be a 3-hour period, or maybe 4, that my phone gets cut off. So all of the people throwing things at me, you're wasting your time. Because a lot of times also, when you appear to have your schedule under control, there are people who are out of control, who are just disjointed, and they want to see you caught up in this frenzy with them. They won't even have a conversation, but they'll throw links at you. It's never ending. Do you know how many countless millions of videos are uploaded every day? How many countless billions of videos are already made? That's like you saying, I'm going to go to the beach and I'm going to count every grain of sand. From where you stand, if you try to do that, you'll never take a step because there's countless grains of sand on the beach under your feet. You'll come home exhausted, not even having the memory of enjoying your trip to the beach. Not me. Right now I'm vibrating so high and I feel it. But I know my body needs rest, and my body is vibrating high while going into that next state of awareness, or lack of, most people would say. But since we are our own innerverse, which is the inner universe, it's another soothing trip I'm going to take. And it won't bring me the stress that this world tries to bring to me. because it has to catch me good. You have to find me to stress me. Yes, the stress of exercise to a point is good. It strengthens you, right? Exertion on a healthy level is good for you. But when you're not getting any exercise and you're sitting by a desk or you're sitting home all day scrolling, that's not healthy. Your mind is moving fast. You can say, oh, I'm retired, but your mind is on the edge of burnout because you're doing more, engaging yourself with random content and all of these messages, and you think you're doing something, but you're accomplishing nothing. Even as a content creator, I can't keep my mind on this all the time. Ideas come to me. I'm very swift with creating things. That's my gift. But many people say, Lance, you're doing these short ones for 10 minutes and 5 minutes and 15 minutes, and sometimes just twice a day. You used to do 8-hour shows. My longest show was 14 hours. I think I hold the record. But I'm not draining myself anymore. No, because that was a lopsided existence. And the energy vampires loved it. No, your energy, my energy is too precious to give away to random viewings of videos, to watch gossip, to not think deeper, to not be in the moment, to not nourish myself, to not getting my board time. I need these things. And because I've been indulging myself on those levels, I feel so much better. Oh, I feel so much better. And there's no panic inside of me where, I have to do this and I have to, no. No way. Just peace, balance, centeredness is all that matters. Because most of the things we're worried about is merely perception. Be proactive, show concern, get those things done in a timely way. Unclog your mind from all of the stuff that doesn't help you. That's the problem. Mental junk food. Mass hypnosis, all of us holding phones and looking into it and missing the life around us. But we think we're accomplishing something. It's almost like we're giving up our souls because we're so easily influenced by what we have in our hand or in our pocket as the electronic modern day Ouija board. Something influencing us. We gaze into it and we give away our life force. We depend on it. I was always very good at knowing what direction I was going in. I would look up at the sun, look at the time, figure where the sun was to tell me more so if I was going east, west, north, or south. Could you imagine how awesome these animals that we have, and I hate to say in the wild, I said it earlier, but I have to correct myself. The man-made engineered system, that's wild. That's the wild. Nature is highly organized, down to the last second. It's highly organized. And their communication, the animals, the insects, the trees, they all communicate with each other. Yes. I'm going to keep it down to 90 seconds, so I'm going to explain what I learned. I learned that ants can communicate with plants. And there's a certain fungus that grows, in this example, that has communicated with ants because this substance, this fungus needs a substance from a particular plant that may be far away. the fungus also has something that the ants want. So the fungus communicates to the ants that it needs these leaves off of this bush or this tree far away. So the ants line up, organized, and they go to where they know this plant is. And they start to chew at the leaf and pick off not a whole leaf, but as much as they can carry to bring back in an orderly fashion. And these ants line up 3, 4, 5 rows deep. I've seen it out here. They're not coming to bother your house. They're not coming to bother you. They're on a mission. They've communicated. They know what the mission is. They've communicated with each other. So they go to this other plant. They start to bring back pieces of the leaves to the fungus that communicated this to them. And whatever the fungus has in its system, on its body, it gives to the ants. And also, that tree that the ants are picking from, it has this way of defending itself because it shoots a chemical out to repel the ants once it knows it's under attack. And we think that we're the highest being, or we're supposed to be, but we're out of who we're supposed to be because we don't know who we are. We don't know our capabilities. If the insects can communicate with each other, with plants, we should and we do have that ability to communicate with plants. We are nature. If we're the highest beings, we're supposed to be able to communicate with everything. Just like I learned a few years ago. If you're living a certain way and you move a certain way and you have a certain spirit, that animals could sense it. If you have no venom, you have no hate, you have no resentment, no envy, animals that would be considered dangerous will not attack you because they can feel your vibration. So if you're living in a natural way, at a natural pace, not overburdened and not full of these toxic emotions that living in a fast-paced world will bring you, then you're all right with nature and nature will serve you back. So I'm convinced to live in these modern man-made societies is a certain death. And it doesn't have to be if you know how to ignore what it's bringing to you and not to take their fast-paced rewards as success. I'm not going to pull myself out of alignment to stress myself to accrue more material goods, baubles and rubies and trinkets and gadgets, to die with the most toys around me. No, I don't need it. I need the sunrise and the sunset. I need to see the water on the beach. I need to feel the sand under my feet. I need to feel the vibration that comes from a wonderful conversation with an intelligent person who has spiritual depth. I don't need any of this other stuff. Yeah, we need a home to keep the elements off of us, to protect us. We need certain basic things, but when you really look at it, we're striving for so much in the artificial world while we live an artificial life and don't extract all that we need to extract that's given to us for free that we don't have to pay for. Can you tell me what store one can go to purchase a bucket of peace of mind? I don't see the animals in the so-called wild, we'll say it that way, we'll say so-called wild. I don't see them out there having nervous breakdowns. No. They're living as they should and vibrating as they should. Imagine. If we're not in a home, we call ourselves homeless or in a house or a dwelling. You say the animals are wild, but are they really homeless? Usually if they don't have a cave to go into, they're just out there. They're sleeping out there. They're dealing with their instincts. But our instincts are crushed because we're living in a world that has taken that ability away because we depend on artificial devices. What happened to that old grandmother who can look you in the eye and tell exactly what's in your heart? Because she was rooted and grounded in nature and in all things spiritual. It may look like religion, but the real ones were connected on a spiritual level, beyond religion, which is man-made to help divide us. What happened to those types? What happened to those abilities? We're off the chain now. You know, on a bicycle, you turn the pedals and the chain pops off. You turn the wheels real quick because you don't realize it popped off. We're off the chain. We're not functional as we should. So we become victims to this toxic world that's man-made. More and more, every day, I strive to align myself with all things nature. I just might wake up early in the morning. Maybe I will when I hear the birds. Maybe I'll wait a little longer. I'll see how I feel. My life is intuitive right now and centered. My mind may say, do this at this time, but my body and my heart and my vibration may say, no, you're not going to do this at that time. You're going to do this tomorrow, and this is what you're going to do. See? But we can't regain that ability until we slow down. And you have to ask yourself, like it says on this banner, why can't you slow down? Look at the people in this illustration. The man in the forefront, looking at his watch, sweating. People on their phones, looking down at their gadgets, not looking too happy. High up in the day and not looking happy because of what you perceive. When I wake up, I'm joyous. I have a whole day ahead of me in sunlight and time to do the things that I desire, to think things out, figure things out, to have a better life, to comfort myself better. And I'm looking forward to sleep. I enjoy that phase. I enjoy waking up. I enjoy nourishing myself. Every single phase. So I have no time to look like the folks on this banner. But unfortunately, many of us are born into that, and we have to learn how to come out of it. And the sad part is, many of us are truly not going to learn how to come out of this. And we can be in it, but our mind has to live in a way where we're not in it. We have to realize what's around us and refuse certain indulgences and have the peace inside of us that protects us from falling victim and being seduced by the things we want to buy. So we have to work more. We have to push. What happened to your yard being your grocery store? You can go out there and pick oranges and watermelons and fruits. Why do we have to pay somebody we don't even know for what grows for free? They say the world is overpopulated, but whoever's telling you that is a lie. You can take every person on the planet and put them on the continent of Africa, and you wouldn't hardly see who your neighbor is. That's everybody on the planet. But they want to put out false propaganda and stress us and have us all amped up in fight or flight mode while they sit back and benefit from our hard work. It doesn't have to be that way. But I'm just so happy you spent the time here to speak with me. I know I went off topic a little bit, but those things needed to be touched on. And when you find yourself centered and cut off from the never-ending supply of stress that's out there, you'll be labeled weird and oddball because you'll be so calm while there's so much chaos around you. Because on a spiritual level, there's somebody feeding off of your fear, the chaos, the oppositions, the insecurities. And so this world, the engineered world, has to keep you in that state so they can feast well, have you in a constant state of panic when there is none at all. And yes, there are things we have to concern ourselves with, but we're all waiting for this big event, this thing that's going to happen to us. And, you know, most of us are not going to experience that. But you look at the news every day, and there's always a reason to keep your mind tied up and away from the things that you should be thinking to set yourself free from this system. Because that's what it is. It's a system, and we were born into it. Many of us know nothing else other than the system. It's normalcy for us, many of us. And we actually will reject anything else. It's built in. We were taught this from young in school. We're not taught to be independent. We're taught to be workers for someone else. Look at the banner here. Look at the picture. They're all running to a job, to work for someone else who's probably sitting out somewhere in the warm part of the world on a yacht, calling in to see how much money they made for that day that you made for them. Now, it may not always go like that, but pretty much that's what it is. That if you push hard enough and don't get your sleep, you know, you grab some fast food in the morning while you're in traffic, worrying if you're going to get to work on time, because if you push hard and make it to the top, you will be successful. Like I said on a video I made many years ago, the job is the ultimate pyramid scheme. And I have that one tucked away, and I'm going to find it within the next few days and upload it. I made it many, many years ago. I think it was 17 years ago I made that. But it stands to be known as being true to this day. And we're guilty of becoming intoxicated with what this system offers. We got to clean that lust for these things. It's something that we have to do. Once we have no desire for it, that's half the battle right there. As long as we want what's in this world, and to have this abundance and sacrifice our bodies and our sleep and our mind and our relationships, it's always going to happen. You can't convince everybody. They have to go through it themselves. But the years will flow by and they still don't learn, oftentimes, until it's too late. Anyway, I want to thank you all for being here with me and taking the time to vibe. I'm going to hit the sack soon after presenting this, and I can sleep deep because this is the message that I wanted to share. And I wasn't going to rush. It comes from the heart. I'm not trying to get 1 million hits or 1 million people following. I'm thankful for you who come, whose names mostly I know, and energy. I'm good with that, because one day all of this won't exist. It'll be something else, So why fret? Let's enjoy it now. Let's share the energy, share the messages, and enjoy it now and grow off of the plate of food that's right in front of us. You see what I mean? Be in the moment and be full of gratitude that we have this time together, that you have this time of life, no matter what's going on in your life. You're breathing, you can hear, you can see. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we don't need to be worried about it. We have today, we have now, and we got to use today to build on something for tomorrow, regardless. But to be worried about something through perception or getting around people who want to cause you to worry, no. You got to clean that energy out of your life. And life will become more simpler. It'll become much more easier than when you're in the man-made system or the man-made system mentality. You can be on those streets, but you don't have to feel this need to be busy all the time where you can't slow down. That's the main catch. But anyway, I'm thankful for you. Leave your comments. Share some topics that you'd like for me to speak about. And let's continue our journey. And really, at the end of the day, it's a very, very beautiful journey. LanceScurv out. On to the next one. I love you all. Peace.